Assassin's Creed Shadows is being wrung through the mud. A petition from Japanese gamers has actually launched on change.org that is heavily gaining steam. You can see there's over 18,000 signatures with a 25,000 goal. We saw this happen with Stellar Blade, where we had petitions put out there and it made a little bit of a difference. Who knows what it'll do with Assassin's Creed Shadow, but the main thing is Japanese gamers are turned off by the fact that we have a black protagonist by the name of Yusuke in the game. In addition to that, when he fights and kills Asian people, hip hop music plays. Probably one of the most tone deaf decisions I've seen from a video game developer. But the Wokies like this stuff. Nothing makes them more happy than a black man killing a whole bunch of Asian people in their own historical landmarks and towns and everything like that. The historical accuracy of this is gone. But, you know, Ubisoft tried to claim in blog posts and stuff that there would be a lot of historical context. I don't know. They made this whole filler blog post talking about it. And to me, it just seems like it's damage control for their whole woke that they're trying to promote on this. Why do I call this woke? Because, guys, look, we had a game that's going to be taking place in ancient feudal Japan, and they chose a black protagonist. This is not me being racist, but come on. Out of all the historical figures and characters that we could have chose with Assassin's Creed, you chose to go with a black guy just to fill out a DEI checklist. Yes, guys, this was 110% to appease groups like Sweet Baby Inc., to please the woke crowd, because now everything has to be about diversity. Instead of making something that Japanese players could be proud of, something that actually represents a bigger part of their culture, we would go with somebody like Yusuke, who really wasn't that relevant because there's not much known about them. Is it cool that he's a black samurai and stuff? Yes, but we all know why he was put in this game. He was shoehorned in there to fill out a checkbox, and that's the problem that a lot of people have. If you look at this blog post, they actually say the decision to include a playable real-life historical figure of this era was twofold. Ubisoft Quebec wanted to include a samurai, and Yusuke's story was open-ended enough to allow for creativity. There's still plenty of questions and speculation surrounding him. So they're basically admitting there's not enough about him, and I guess that makes it a prime candidate for them to have, I guess, the historical accuracy, the stuff that's real happened, and then from there just go completely fictional and blow him up into some huge hero, even though there's not much known about him. So there's going to be a lot of fiction put into this game. That's what allows for creativity means, ladies and gentlemen. They said the fascinating facts, though, were undisputable of African origin. He arrived in Japan enslaved by the Portuguese. He, impressed with size, strength, and wits, served under the Japanese daimyo Oda Nobunaga. I always mess up my Japanese. Nobunaga. There must have been something exceptional about Yusuke to succeed in the service of a personality like Nobunaga. Yeah, he was a strong slave. Much bigger. People of African descent are much bigger than Asians, so he basically was the best slave. And I'm not trying to say that out of hate or anything. It wasn't like he came to Japan and was like praised and gifted. He had to work. He did a lot of labor. They're going to embellish a lot of Yusuke in this game. They're going to make him literally like a hero of Japan. That's what establishing creativity is. So they're saying the team explains, and the goal has been to expound on this in Assassin's Creed Shadow through curiosity, openness, respect for values, tradition, valor, warmth, and charisma. So basically moral grandstanding, everything right here. They're saying players can discover Japan alongside him. On one hand, he serves as a warning for the colonizing threat that the Portuguese present. So we're over here painting Portuguese in bad light. They're colonizers. And look, if you think that this game's not going to have any political stance or political commentary on it, you're mistaken. They're literally going to be using Yusuke as a tool for political commentary in this game, when Assassin's Creed should be fun. Yeah, there's historical significance to it. We've had characters like Cleopatra and stuff in the past, but they're going to be absolutely using this to try to get modern audiences happy and that it's going to be representing stuff that we see in America right now, even though it has nothing to do with America politics. They're going to absolutely interject it with here using him. So they're going to expand it. They're saying the team won't spoil how he's linked to Assassin's Creed lore. Players will have to play the game to find out. So I'm betting what they're going to do is they're going to make him the oldest ancestor of Ezio. He's going to be related to him in some form or fashion. And that's what it's going to be. They're only hyping him up, ladies and gentlemen, because he's a POC. He's a person of color. If this was another Asian, which for whatever reason the wokies don't count Asian as POCs or minorities, they tend to kind of just push them off to the side. Kind of weird, right? Considering this is a Japanese setting for the game. But they only give a fuck about Yusuke because he's black. That's only why. And they've been running a little bit of interference and stuff for quite some time. You know, we have this whole fluff piece where they're trying to really praise who Yusuke is as a character. In this whole, I guess this was like a developer's video where they're talking about the game as a whole, and it's so weird that they're focused on him. I get it. It's your protagonist. You want to sell this game to people and stuff, but people aren't buying this. We literally have a fucking petition now because of this game, and it's directed by Japanese players. You can't say that this is a whole bunch of white, right-wing, Republican MAGA players. This is literally Japanese gamers that put this petition together. And you can see, here's the translation right here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the translation of it. It says, recently, lack of historical accuracy and culture respect have been a serious problem for game developer Ubisoft, which is scheduled to release Assassin's Creed Shadows. This game is based on the samurai of Japan, ignoring the fact that the samurai is the upper class of samurai class and should be, or a person who serves you. In fact, William Adams, the first European to receive the title of samurai, was the one who served Tokugawa Ieyasu as the flag book for 250 stoning. And such history, Ubisoft continues to misunderstand the essence and role of samurai. This is a serious insult to Japanese culture and history and can lead to racism in Asia. We call on Ubisoft to immediately discontinue the launch of Assassin's Creed Shadows and show sincere research and respect for Japanese history and culture. I need your autograph. Sign this petition to inform Ubisoft of the importance of cultural respect and historical accuracy. So this is somebody right from there saying that there's a lack of it, that it's not, you know, a samurai was somebody of upper class. A slave is not upper class. I'm sorry if you think that's bigoted, but it's facts. That's why they were called slaves. Now, again, at this time of writing and every time I refresh, we're seeing that it's increasing. It went from 18,457 to 18,497. So I'm sure the more people that cover this, the bigger that it's going to be coming out. Now, we also had, just recently, the Ubisoft CEO condemned hateful acts against developers following AC Shadow's Backlash. And he said, he said this exact quote, and this in response to all this stuff, I guess because Sweet Baby Inc.'s getting a lot of heat. Ubisoft's getting a lot of heat because of Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows. Because we're getting community managers that are saying and doing a lot of stupid shit. Like, you can't be racist against white people. And they're just being all around insufferable and banning people on Discords and, you know, YouTube, Twitter. They're all woke infectoids, if that's even a word. They're all people infecting the gaming community with their fucking DEI nonsense. And we had a couple of these community managers involved with Ubisoft. We've had people with Sweet Baby Inc. trying to get websites shut down and contacting wives and stuff. So, of course, there's a lot of heat. There's a lot of venom on both sides. But you can see the CEO said, one thing I'm concerned about right now is the malicious and personal online attacks that have been directed at some of our team members and partners. I want to make it clear that we at Ubisoft condemn these hateful acts in the strongest possible terms, and I encourage the rest of the industry and players to denounce them too. Now, okay, there's a difference between personal attacks, death threats, and stuff like that. But then there's legit criticism, legit feedback, legit backlash. But don't play like your community managers and developers and people that some of y'all hire are innocent. I've seen some of the hateful insufferable stuff that they've been tweeting. Does that call for death threats against them? Absolutely not. But guys, y'all aren't innocent in any of this. You know, you guys aren't innocent in any of this at all. Now, do I think that this petition is going to cause the game to not launch? Absolutely not. This game's coming out November. We just hit July 1st today. But it's definitely going to get a lot of fucking backlash. Now we're seeing, calls for discontinuation. We're seeing people in the comments basically calling them out. Like you see this top one says, "We fabricated a blank space in history." The old lady in the thumbnail used the word historical a lot in an interview with IGN last month and claimed that it was based on historical facts. So it's unreasonable to call it fantasy now. Isn't it discrimination that Japanese people are not included in Wii? You see, so they're basically going to embellish on Yusuke's historical accuracy because they just admitted that there's not enough known about him, but there's enough to be creative about it later on. So we're going to see some over-the-top bullshit. Like I'm saying, he's going to be related to Ezio, probably, from the original Assassin's Creed. Now, you see, when I saw the thumbnail, I thought this is another anti-political video, but I was wrong. It's a violation of human rights to promote a real person's unknown vacancy period by labeling him or her as gay or some other sexuality. So that's in response to rumors that somebody said, literally, Yusuke's LGBTQ in this. A character in ancient feudal Japan is LGBTQ. They're literally taking some dead historical figure. Imagine that you're a samurai and hundreds of years from now, thousands of years from now, somebody's going to make a video game and inject wokeness into your historical accuracy because of creative liberties, because not enough is known about a blank period in your life. That's what Ubisoft is probably going to be doing right here. That's probably what they're going to be doing here. And they're getting absolutely fucking roasted for all this. Absolutely roasted. Look at some of these things like here. I don't want Ubi to have anything to do with my country ever again. Fucking yikes. Where did all the historical accuracy that was emphasized in the official video go? And again, the official video was this piece right here where they were trying to hype the game up for everybody. And now it seems like they're going to be taking creative liberties. Again, there was that rumor that he's LGBTQ. Ugh, all this cringe nonsense. And then even then, they're really not focusing on the female protagonist. You notice it's all on Yusuke. And you see he's quoting the video. I hope people who are familiar with Japanese history look forward to it. Are you serious? Now, they're getting absolutely cooked on Twitter. This petition's coming to light. Everybody's naming about it. Everybody's talking about it. Park Place wrote an article about this as well that you guys could read, calling it an insult. The game's an insult to Japanese history. But yeah, people are just basically ripping it apart. You can look in the comments. I was assured that every Japanese account complaining about the game was actually an American playing pretend, says Savio Artist. But no, the Japanese people are rightfully upset about this, and in good faith as well. A game with a big black man murdering Japanese people to hip-hop music. Seems racist to me and totally justified for the Japanese people to not like it. And that's the thing. How tone-deaf do you have to be like, let's put a huge African black dude killing Asians to hip-hop music and not expect Japanese people to be upset about it? That was the most ridiculous thing I'd ever seen in my life. You can see... I support this. This should have never been a thing in the first place. Good. Assassin's Creed should have stopped being produced after 3. Would be awesome if Japanese government bans this game. Japan's always so based. And then here's the meme with the black samurai in the office. Always great. Always great. I mean, just looking at the reception, man, it seems like Ubisoft is just making bad decision after bad decision this year. Whether it's someone making comments about us being comfortable not owning our games, to delisting games, to doing stuff like uglifying your characters with Star Wars Outlaws, to putting a black protagonist in a game that takes place in ancient Japan. I mean, people aren't having it. If you remember, the trailer got absolutely obliterated with dislikes. Look at this. 290K likes to 749K likes. Dislike bomb. Let me add one to it. Completely dislike bombed right here. This is the official trailer on Ubisoft's channel. And if you go to the comics, You can see the most heroic thing about this trailer is that they left the comments open. The first comment you see right there is absolutely obliterating them. And you can just see there's literally like, remember, never pre-order. Definitely fucking roasted in here. Piracy isn't stealing if buying is not owning. So it's Ubisoft making their own Ghost of Tsushima with bigger budget but way smaller brains. Bad news for anyone who really believes Yusuke was a samurai. I mean, look at this. Ubisoft, man, you need to start listening to your fans and not listening to the Sweet Baby Inc. types that are coming and trying to offer consulting for you. I know you guys want diversity, and on paper it seems all right, but look at this. 34,000 likes to 42,000 dislikes on another video. And they're even calling out stuff as simple as like these trees not being available in that season in the game. So we'll see what happens with this petition. I think the more people that are going to cover it, the more attention it's going to get. Is this going to get the game canceled? Absolutely not. Look at what happened with the Free Stellar Blade petition. It brought some awareness and stuff, but at the end of the day, Stellar Blade was still censored and stuff. But it's always good to let your voices be heard, people. Don't be afraid to speak out. Don't be afraid to boycott. Don't be afraid to say what you want. Don't let the woke mob shut you up. That's what they want. People like Alyssa Mercante and them, they don't want you to complain. If her exact quote was, you need to realize that diversity happens naturally. Dumbasses, basically. And if we didn't like that, to fight them. And that's how they all want it. They call us miserable, but they're the ones interjecting everything. They're the ones force-feeding stuff in this whole gaming space. And when we speak up with stuff like this, they get upset about it. And they call us bigots. They call us racist. They think that we're the ones that are hating our lives. Don't let people inject this stuff. Even if it happens, guys, it's inevitable. This game's coming out. Still speak up. Vote with your wallets. Thumbs down stuff. Voice your opinion. It's always, that's the beauty with freedom of speech, is that we're able to voice our opinion, make petitions and stuff, dislike things, announce our hate for it in comment spaces. Let these people know. Let them know that injecting DEI is something that we don't want. So I'm going to leave it right there, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Have a nice day. Subscribe if you haven't. Peace out.